Peace, y'all. What's up? Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 5 of Table Talks with Titus, which will soon be today renamed to Titus Talks. All thanks, not quite to me per se, but more so thanks to my homie, to my sister Terry. Shout out to you, sis. Appreciate you for bringing up the name months ago, weeks ago, whatever. I put out a question on Twitter. It may have been last week or so about the name change, and she saw it and was like, "Hold up, Ivy, what's good?" Like, I remember mentioning that to you years ago or a while ago. So I can't fully take full credit for the name change. Of course, it is my name, but thank you, Terry. Shout out to you for the recommendation a while ago. Credit goes to you for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and dig in to today's topics and content. About a month ago or so, I was talking to one of my managers at work, and she was mentioning how she had recently begun using a particular oil, and this oil was called CBD oil. And she suggested to me that CBD oil might in fact be able to be used to assist with and to soothe or calm down or whatever stuttering, because she had used it already for her daughter in one way, and other issues have been used as well. So I was not skeptical at all because of what CBD, THP, TCP, and weed will do for you anyway. So obviously it's a relaxant, that kind of thing. And I figured it made make sense. Yeah, it would of course help with stuttering too. Well, I haven't gotten it just yet, but it came up again in conversation today. So I'm gonna be looking at that at some point soon. Hopefully by next week's episode, to see if the effects of CBD oil will be positive for me. I think that it will. I really do. One other thing that I want to kind of mention about my stutter that I noticed in the past year or so, whenever I teach at work, my teaching style is very engaging, it's very energetic or whatever, and I noticed that whenever I'm not standing still, whenever I'm moving and engaging and kind of in more of an active space, that movement helps me to be a bit more fluid and a bit more smooth in my speech. I liken that to singing. Of course, science has found that singing, whenever someone sings who stutters, the stutter is gone. It's crazy. It's science. The way the mind works, it's just different when you sing. And I can only assume that whenever movement's happening, that movement may also click in and turn on a similar brain, nerve, whatever, that then triggers a similar concept for art or movement or the creative side of your mind. So I found that whenever I do or am in a moving dance type space, I have a lot less problem starting my stutter as well. So something else to consider that I personally found about my experience with my stutter, and that may, of course, I may take more into account whenever I have a chance to speak publicly or in groups to be a bit more on the go when I talk as well. So that's that. Yoga wise, y'all, I am so hyped. I mentioned a while ago that I was trying to get a handstand, and it finally happened. I have been working on it for the past, I'd say 2 weeks or so, and I went to the studio, Sage Wellness Studio in Huntsville, and old girl helped me out, Shayna, with going up on the wall. I'm gonna put up a couple pictures in a minute about the process. And one thing that I like about the process is that it's a process. And I found out as I did it that it's important to find yourself in the form of the handstand before you try and do the handstand without a wall. So I found the wall, and you can either do it with your hands on the ground and facing the wall with your feet up, or with your back to the wall with your feet up. But either way gets your body familiar with the handstand position. And then with the assistance of Shayna at the studio, I was able to adjust my hips and my core to be more of a straight angle, and that helped a lot too. So a couple mornings I tried to do a handstand without using the wall first, and I used the wall. I came back to the mat and did it again, and it happened right away. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so excited. So I've been able to get a handstand, and I've held it for about 7 seconds so far total. I'm going, of course, for at least 10 seconds as like a goal right now. But it's crazy how often and how many more muscles have to be engaged to do a handstand, down to your hands. Like when you're here, your fingers grip, and this part of your hand grips and keeps you and balances you as you rock back and forth on your hands too. It's so crazy how many different muscles you have to pay attention to now that you're in the handstand space. So I'm happy about that. The pictures are gonna show up, I guess, in a minute or two as they go. Yeah, there they are. All right, so that's a really exciting thing that I've been able to discover and achieve as I have been practicing a lot more yoga too. So that's that. Music wise, so music has been music for me is weird because I want to experience it in its truest and its most honest form, both for the creator of the songs, of the albums, of the whatever it is, and from my personal experience as I experience music too. So I wanna be able to either let the song or music move me, or let the song or music fit to my particular mood, whatever that may be as well. So as I keep finding more songs and more artists, I'm gonna be either working on sharing them in that space to songs that artists that may match my particular mood, a mood from the week, or a place that I want to get to mood-wise, or an artist that got me into a different kind of space, or one that again met me in a mood as I moved through and engaged and kind of walked through the space and the feeling that I had in that particular time as well. Today actually is where this particular album comes from. It's sunny out. I had just left a creative meeting. I had done some reading, had a good breakfast, windows down, was vibing heavy, and the song Golden came on. And this song is from the artist. It's 3 women who are like the queens of black soul, black R&B. Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, and Jill Scott. And they each have their own space in the women music vocalist sphere. And this particular song was actually a remix that I found. I forget how I found it, but it's called Golden, and it's off of the project, I guess you could say, Crates Remix Fundamentals Volume 1. This is it right here. When you can, check it out. Particularly, of course, the track Golden. I also liked on this particular album, Brother. Great song, of course, as you already know, I'm sure. A Long Walk. It's got a really good vibe to it. And then one other one on here that I was really into, I think Come See Me as well. So that's one that I really appreciated and liked as well. Next up is an artist that I have known for personally, I've known this guy for at least 10 years or so. And I knew him as he was in one phase of his artistry, of his producing and hip hop. And in the past year and a half, 2 years or so, he's taken a real good shift and a lot more attention to his craft and to his expression. He's a coworker of mine, good friend of mine, and he's been releasing series or singles since last year. Since last year, I think it is. This year he's really released 2. One of them is called Cobain. The other one is called King Friday. The artist is a guy named King Kofi. He's a good guy, really good guy. This is his single here. Check it out. Look him up. Instagram, look him up on Twitter. Of course, look him up on Apple Music. He's on Tidal. He's on Spotify. He's on all the major platforms. good vibes, good message, good energy, good dude. Yeah. Cool. So that's gonna be it for music. Next up, and I guess last up, is books. I'm gonna go back in time, not really far away actually. I mentioned, I think in the second episode, about the books that came from my mom that she gave to me on my birthday last year, and this is gonna be one of the books. Is actually a book that was given to me in that box of books. It's a book by the author James Weldon Johnson. My father performed moving art expression of a poem of this guy, Creation, back when he was, I guess, in college or whatever. So that's, of course, stuck out to me for all my life, knowing that my dad expressed that creative creation, I guess, that creative art, that creative thing back then. So I wanted to, of course, find out whatever else I could about this guy. We, of course, know that he is the author of the Black National Anthem. But this particular book is also a really good book that I read last year too. The Autobiography of an Ex-Colored Man. Amazing book for any, obviously, black man, any black woman, any person, to be honest. It gives a really good narrative. It is a narrative of the black experience, coming up after slavery, after or during the civil rights era or time, of a young man of privilege to an extent. And I don't want to give it all away, of course, but it gives a good story, different vignettes of different experiences of how a young black man existed in post civil rights era, but of course still tainted by the effects of racism, and with him also being, as it says, or it doesn't say here, light skin, very light skin. So when you get a chance, when you want to, good book, open up your mind about how we navigate the world and how the world was navigated back in that time as well. The other book that I'm reading right now, I'm reading right now actually, that's the book that I finished, is a book called Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates, I believe it's called. Good, short book, well not short, small. I didn't realize, first of all, that he actually is the new writer for the Black Panther series, the comics. Quick tip there. But this is a good book so far as well. It's honestly written, I think, in the same vein process as James Baldwin's book. Fire Next Time, I think it is. A book written to his nephew. This book is written to his son, and it's written literally to his son. I don't think there's any chapters in it at all. I think so far it's just been one long prose about how his world was, Ta-Nehisi Coates' world was from a child, and he's telling his son and giving his son his advice, perspective on life as well. So that's that. Two good books about the black experience, current time, older time. This book here was published 1960. There you go. So that's that. Be on the lookout for some other content, some new content from my page again. Look out for it by the weekend, by Friday, no later than Saturday. Meet me on the mat. Make it to the mat video. I want to have my first yoga video. Not too in depth, not too intense, but I really want to make it available and accessible to anyone who even doesn't wanna or can't do those crazy poses like eagle pose and warrior one and bouncing and everything. You can't do all that. That's cool. You don't have to get into yoga. Yoga is about three main things: the mind, the breath, and the body, and how they can work together. And this particular video that I'm gonna release this weekend is gonna be about just getting on the mat and not doing a whole lot, but doing enough to understand and to get your mind in the flow of linking your breath and movement together. So look for that very, very soon, as well as some other small snippets of videos from myself and my homie Aaliyah. We did some work last week on a little project, and so of course some other videos from other fellow yogis in town as well. So that's it for now. Thank you guys again for following my vlog so far. Look out for some more videos. Comment in the bottom for recommendations for other books that you may have read that I can talk about on the vlog. Any other music or artists that you may like or like that I recommended as well. Hit me up on Instagram, again, @the4th, on Twitter, @EdwardTitusIV, and of course my website for other information about my yoga, my writing, my blog, and my photography that is kind of on the back burner, but still it's up there for you to view as well. Cool. Let me know if you like this new view too. It's a bit brighter, more open, more homey. I like it a lot myself anyway, so yeah. Thanks, peace and love.